Fuck me! You knocked the stuffing out of me. I yield! Enough! Oh, for fuck's sake, you're unstoppable! Oh, you won the bet, fair and square. I'll settle with you when we get to Trotsky. Now let's go and eat. That swordplay gave me quite an appetite.
So who won, gentlemen?
Oh, it seems this isn't my day. I knew I shouldn't have bet with you. You've improved since that last time in Ratai.
That time we had a wager for your bow. How did it actually end up?
Henry, that was no time ago at all. Did you get a bang in the head? And of course, I won.
So much has happened since then. Feels like an eternity.
God's truth. We had no lack of excitement. Anyway, I kicked your ass because I'm a master with a bow.
Indeed. Almost as good as with your tongue.
Oats? What's this food supposed to be?
What's left of our supplies? Tomorrow we'll be at the castle, and we'll get some decent grub.
If you told us earlier, I could have shot a hare. And you could have cooked it like they did in the tavern the day before yesterday.
That tavern where you drank away all your coin?
Ha! You've got to have some fun.
And then you tried it on with the innkeeper's daughter when you were shit-faced.
She was pretty. A real peach. Admit it.
Only a fella was there.
He was well pissed off. If I hadn't convinced him you were the village idiot and that we dragged you home right away...
And if I hadn't left him a fistful of coin to boot...
Throwing groschen around like that? Fellas, if a rainy day comes, you'll be fucked.
Ha! I've got nothing to regret. The whole world turns around wenches. Ain't that right, Henry?
Hmm?
You never gave us the goods on that lass of yours. What was her name now?
Teresa. She lived with that crook Peshek at the mill.
And she saved my life.
A brave girl.
Aye. She's a fine lass. And? Is she any good? Like, is she any good? Get me?
She's brave. She saved my life when I went back to Skalitz after it was razed to bury my parents, and a bunch of mercenaries attacked me. And that's all I'll say.
You know, this travelling isn't too bad.
Apart from the mosquitoes.
Aye. Apart from them.
Where were you yesterday evening, Henry? You were late for supper. That's not what I call watching over our Lord.
Hey, don't make trouble.
I needed a bit of peace and quiet. I had a stroll around, checking out what plants grow here, praying for the success of our mission. Then I came back.
At last someone with some sense, who's not in a hurry all the time.
If I always had to think everything over, but...
I wouldn't have rolled in the hay with so many girls if I spent my time just thinking about it.
Thanks for the prayer, anyway.
And what about, time, sir? I mean, will we be getting any time off, sir?
It depends. Once von Berghoff hears us out, we should set off back home immediately.
What? Straight back on the road?
Well, we could stay a day or two, perhaps.
Does anyone know anything more about von Berghoff?
Only what Sir Hans told us, that von Berghoff is a big cheese in the royal court. That's why we're going to negotiate an alliance with him.
You summed that up nicely. But yes, that's how it is. He's the Royal Chamberlain. You fellas will never meet a more important noble than him.
I heard he insists on having the finest swords, and that he's got a big collection of all kinds of swords and daggers.
Collecting them ain't the same as knowing how to use them.
And is he any good at sword fighting? It ain't nothing easy to learn.
The sword is a weapon of a master. Balanced, fast, and suitable for all situations. Of course, you have to train with it and try to improve your technique, but the result is worth it.
Aye, I get it. It was just a training fight. Pardon me.
Oh, swords, swords, swords. No doubt you're going to tell us again how the perfidious Istvan Toth stole your sword. And I thought you'd come round to thinking about other things.
That sword is the only reminder I had of Pa. We forged it together, just before he was slain. But that's another matter. I suppose you've heard enough of that, eh?
Well, you know.
No, it's all right.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Istvan's shoes if you ever come face to face with him again.
What? So Radzig ain't dead, though?
Enough, enough. Otherwise we'll be here for hours again hearing how Martin the Smith raised him even though Radzig is his real father. It's complicated, and let's leave it at that. No offense.
Who'll help me tomorrow with getting supplies for the journey back?
We rolled dice for it, and I won, so Conrad goes.
What are you on about?
Enough. Oath, you're no fun at all. There'll be a feast at the castle tomorrow, so forget about supplies.
Anyone for another helping? There's plenty left. Maybe even a bit for morning.
No thanks. I must wash myself down a bit.
My words exactly. We can't turn up at Trotsky tomorrow in this state. Let's go and strip, Henry. Fellas, come and help us get out of this armor.
Are you really going to bathe here, Sir Hans? It don't look none too safe a spot to me.
Oh, don't be such an old woman, Oates. Bring some wine to warm our blood.
Yeah, we're not on a trip to the baths here, Sir Hans.
Henry's right, sir. Duty first, fun later.
God's wounds. I haven't been away from Rattay in ages. So, here, I intend to live a little.
Blasted iron shirt. Oh, what a relief. I feel like I've just shed 40 pounds.
Ah, Christ. Will I ever live to see his young lordship finally grow up? He's got a good heart, but he doesn't have the sense that he was born with.
Well, responsibility will catch up with him soon enough, though.
There's more chance of me becoming a monk.
That's a view fit for a king.
Whew. You were right about our stench.
Let's hope this water isn't too cold. You wouldn't want your pride and joy shrinking.
I'm more worried about it being too deep.
Come on. really shrivels the old ballsack.
What's the matter?
Females! Let's go to them.
Sir Hans.
Oh, shut up and let's go. But quietly. We don't want them to spot us.
Hans!
Head down, Henry. We've got to sneak closer.